What we're going to do is construct a 99% confidence interval for the difference between two proportions of successes. So there's going to be two groups, so there's going to be two proportions, and we're going to make an estimate for the difference between two of these little p's. To do this, what we're going to need is two samples. So I've got two samples here, sample number 1 and a sample number 2. We're going to need to collect a little bit of information from each of these. We're going to need to collect the sample size from each of them. So from sample number 1, I'll have an n number 1. That will be the sample size. In this case, if you count them, there's 12 of them. Over here, for my sample number 2, it has a sample size of 17. Then what I'm also going to need to construct a confidence interval is to figure out the number of successes within each of these samples. In this case, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes in sample number 1, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes in sample number 2. Okay. Yep. And so what we need to do, if we want to make this 99% confidence interval, or an 82% confidence interval, or a 63% confidence interval, whatever we want in terms of that percentage, we can go over to our calculator, we can hit on stats, we can go over to tests, and then we go down until we get to a 2PROPPZINT, which is the next one there. That's the 2PROPPZINT. Okay, this one will actually use our formulas for us. We're going to open that up, and you'll see in here all the options that we've just tallied up. So we have an x number 1, which is 5 successes in our first group, out of 12 observations total in our first group. Then we're going to have 9 successes in our second group, out of a total of 17 observations in our second group. And then we got to type in our confidence level, which is 99%. So that's that C level there. Then we go down and just say calculate. And then our confidence interval is those two numbers sitting up top in the parentheses, negative 0.594 all the way up to 0.3685. 3, that's actually our confidence interval, these two numbers here. Now you will notice that it calculates a couple other things for us. One of them is actually a p hat number 1, which is just x number 1 divided by n number 1. That ends up being 0.416 repeating. Then it also calculates the sample proportion for the second sample, which is x number 2 over n number 2, which in that case ends up being 0.5294. So that's just interesting little facts of what else gets spit out here. What we're really interested in is this confidence interval, which is the negative 0.594 and then the 0.36853. Okay, the formulas we'll go over in class. This just gets you a way that you can calculate it on your calculator real quick. Talk to you next time.